Hogwarts. Through food, that is. Tonight I'll be sharing a magical recipe that I got from one of the house elves. Well, not gonna lie, I don't have any connections with house elves anymore, but I do have a Harry Potter cookbook, the Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook. Tonight I'll be making pumpkin pasties, and it's actually a pretty basic and pretty easy recipe. So, without any further ado, let's go and cook some, shall we? Luckily, this isn't a terribly hard recipe to make, and it's pretty satisfying. It's pretty good. It kind of tastes like an apple pie turnover, so that's pretty cool. So our first couple of ingredients is actually going to be our most important because it's going to make our dough. So in this bowl, I have 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of plain white granulated sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, plain old salt. Not sea salt, just regular old iodized good old Morton salt. So we're going to go ahead and pour that into a large metal bowl. And here I have 5 tablespoons of chilled cubed butter. I cut them all into cubes. It just kind of doesn't look like it. See, you can see all the individual cubes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those cubes right into there. And here I have 3 tablespoons of chilled Crisco. You can use any type of vegetable shortening, but that's just the kind that we had in the cabinet. So just add those 3 into your bowl with the rest of the mixture. And next we're going to add anywhere between 3 and 6 tablespoons of cold water. But remember, you just want to add 1 tablespoon at a time. As many people say, it could be your grandmother, it could have been Professor Snape while he was teaching potions. It's always easier to add ingredients than it is to take them away. Well, I doubt Professor Snape said that, but it makes sense if you think about it. Now, I am going to use my hands to make this dough for a couple reasons. 1, my food processor, for whatever reason, decided that it wasn't going to work. And 2, I thought it would be fun to kind of get into the act of Harry Potter. Many of you may know, especially those of you who went to Hogwarts like me, that modern day equipment and modern day appliances don't work in magical grounds such as Hogwarts. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hand knead this dough. It's really not that hard, it's just a little more time consuming. If you do decide that you want to use a food processor, you want to make sure that you don't over process your mixture, and you definitely don't want to add the water all at once either. So I'm going to add another tablespoon of my cold water. And we're just going to really grab the bits of flour and butter and, the rest of the mixture. And we're just going to make big balls of fists into it until it starts making a dough. You want it to resemble like cornmeal consistency. You kind of want it to be thick. You definitely don't want any white powdery substance to be left over. So I just added my 3rd tablespoon of cold water, for those of you who are keeping track. And another good thing about hand making your doughs, it's really a good workout for your hands. Like, for instance, I'm ambidextrous, but I'm trying to strengthen my left hand because my right hand is more so my dominant hand. I write with it and everything. And so you can, like what I'm doing right now, is I'm switching in between my right and my left hand. So it's a pretty good hand workout if you're trying to strengthen your other hand for whatever reason. Maybe you broke your other hand. I don't really know. I really think that they should start selling Skelegro to the masses. I mean, it's just very useful. I know, I sure could have used it when I was there. Actually, I did use it when I was there. I know I could have used it when I got out. I'm going to add a 4th tablespoon of cold water because it just needs it. Sometimes you may not need it, sometimes you would. It depends on your altitude, it depends on how fresh your ingredients are. There's just a lot riding on it. So just use your better judgment, really. Okay, looks like our dough is coming along very nicely, which is good. That's what you want. Yay. See? Easy. Easy peasy. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to just roll this up into a little ball. Make sure that all of your butter chunks are no longer chunky, like I just have to go and do a quick little run through because I saw a couple little chunks that apparently slipped through my fingers. Yes, the pun was intended. I know that it was cheesy, just go with it. Let's just kind of do a couple really good squeeze throughs. Make sure the majority of the butter is broken up. I mean, if you find other, little chunks, it really isn't that big of a deal, but you definitely want to try your best to distribute the butter as well as the rest of the other ingredients evenly. It just kind of gives a uniform taste all over the dough and all over the pastry and the final product, which is basically what you want. Unless you have the Aunt Marge in your family and you just kind of want to torture her a little bit and treat the rest of your family well, while you kind of give her the leftovers and the ones that don't taste as well. Ooh, my goodness. Alright, so as you saw, I went and I did my little run through to make sure that all of the butter and Crisco and everything was evenly distributed, and now I piled it up into a ball, and I'm going to throw my ball of dough into the refrigerator. And I'm going to leave that dough in there for at least an hour. You can leave it in longer, but make sure that you definitely leave it in for at least an hour. I'll be right back. I'm going to go wash my hands, and right when I'm done with that, we're going to move on and we're going to work on our filling. Okay, be right back.